Picture this. You're sitting on your couch at like 8 o'clock at night. You're mindlessly scrolling through your phone.
As we all do.
Exactly. And suddenly this ad pops up for a really incredible jacket. It is exactly your style. So you click the link, you pick your size, you hit checkout, and then...
Let me guess.
Yeah.
You're staring at a massive form.
Yes. Demanding your 16-digit credit card number, the expiration date, the 3-digit code on the back, billing address, shipping address, all of it.
And your wallet is sitting in a pair of jeans, like all the way upstairs in the bedroom.
Right. So what do? I mean, you close the app, you tell yourself, oh, I'll buy it later.
But you never do.
You never do. That tiny momentary lack of convenience, that friction, it actually costs the global economy billions of dollars every single year in abandoned shopping carts.
Oh, absolutely. It's a massive problem.
And solving that exact problem is really what we are digging into today. Welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a comprehensive breakdown titled Shopify and Shop App, What's the Difference?
Which is a great source, by the way.
It really is. And our mission today is to untangle this surprisingly confusing web of branding so you can understand exactly how the back-end merchant platform and the front-end consumer app, how they work together to fundamentally change how we buy things online.
It's a critical distinction to make, honestly, because if you've purchased anything online in the last few years, you have almost certainly passed through this digital ecosystem.
Right.
The whole architecture is designed to be completely invisible to the user, but the mechanics underneath are just fascinating.
So to immediately clarify the core difference between the two, let's use a physical analogy. I think it helps. Think of a high-end restaurant.
Okay, I like where this is going.
So Shopify is the commercial kitchen and the back office management. It's the walk-in freezers, the inventory management, shift schedules, grease traps. It's where all the heavy lifting and the actual preparation happens.
The messy stuff.
Exactly. The Shop app, on the other hand, is the dining room. It's the curated menu, the velvet booths, the ambient lighting. It is where the customer actually sits down, looks at their options, and just enjoys the meal.
That is a highly accurate way to frame the relationship. And the reason you, as a listener, should really care about how the kitchen connects to the dining room is twofold.
Yeah.
Well, if you're just an avid online shopper, understanding this ecosystem is a masterclass in how to streamline your digital life and protect your data.
Oh, for sure.
But if you're an aspiring entrepreneur or you already run a business, understanding this divide unlocks an entirely free, massive growth channel that you might be completely ignoring.
Okay, let's unpack this by walking right past the dining room and heading straight into the kitchen. Let's look at Shopify, the actual merchant platform.
Yeah, the scale of Shopify's operation is really difficult to overstate. We are talking about a subscription-based powerhouse that currently powers over 6.9 million independent merchants globally.
Which is just a staggering number.
It is. This is the foundational infrastructure. A merchant pays a monthly fee, starting at $39 a month, or $29 if billed annually. And in exchange, Shopify handles the incredibly unglamorous, highly technical realities of running an e-commerce business.
Right, like website building, catalog routing, shipping calculators, tax compliance across, different jurisdictions, all that nightmare stuff.
And, perhaps most importantly, security. The platform manages server hosting, SSL certificates, and PCI compliance.
Wait, I want to stop on PCI compliance for a second because I feel like people just gloss over what that actually means.
Yeah, they do.
It stands for Payment Card Industry Compliance, which is the really strict set of security standards for handling sensitive credit card data. If you are a small business owner, handling that data yourself is not just a headache, it is an actual existential threat.
Oh, 100%.
Right. If your custom-built server gets hacked and 1,000 credit card numbers are stolen, the liability and the fines will literally bankrupt you overnight.
You hit the nail on the head. That is the true value proposition of the kitchen. By using Shopify, the merchant is essentially outsourcing that massive catastrophic liability.
Right.
They never actually touch the raw credit card data. The platform absorbs the risk, it manages the compliance, and lets the business owner focus entirely on product design and marketing.
Which perfectly sets up the transition to the dining room, the Shop app.
Yeah.
Because while Shopify is this complex, paid, heavily fortified backend for merchants, the Shop app is an entirely different beast.
Totally different.
It is completely free, and it is built strictly for the consumer.
It's available in 14 different languages and is actively used by over 675 million buyers a year.
675 million. That is just a huge user base.
Staggering.
But here's where it gets really interesting to me. Looking at the history in our research, This massive global shopping destination didn't even start out as a store.
No, it didn't.
It launched years ago as an incredibly basic utility app called Arrive, which was literally just a package tracker.
Which is actually a brilliant piece of behavioral psychology if you really think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the single highest engagement touch point in the entire e-commerce journey?
Oh, I know this one.
It isn't the promotional emails, it's the tracking link.
Oh, absolutely. When I order something I am genuinely excited about, I am refreshing that tracking page twice a day just to see the progress bar move from a warehouse in Ohio to my local post office. It's a guaranteed dopamine hit.
Precisely. Shopify realized they had an app that millions of people were opening obsessively, so they slowly evolved it. Instead of just showing you a map of where your shoes are, they started showing you recommendations for, like, socks that go with those shoes.
Sold by other merchants on their platform.
Exactly. They turned a post-purchase utility into a pre-purchase discovery engine.
But I'm struggling to see the reality for the merchant here. The data shows 675 million buyers on the app. Usually getting your products in front of an audience that size requires massive customer acquisition costs, right?
Oh yeah, thousands of dollars.
Spending thousands on social media ads or optimizing a totally separate product catalog for a new marketplace. Do I have to do all of that to get my stuff in the Shop app? Or is it like a walled garden where they just scrape my site?
So it is a walled garden,
Yeah.
but it operates through a direct API feed, not scraping. If your store meets the Shop Merchant guidelines and you use their native payment gateway, which is Shopify Payments, your entire product catalog is listed automatically.
Wait, really? Automatically?
There's literally zero extra setup. Whenever you update a price or add a new photo on your main website, it instantly syncs to the Shop app.
That is wild. It's a completely frictionless sales channel. But that actually brings us to the single biggest point of confusion that trips people up when they look at this ecosystem. We need to clearly separate the Shop app from Shop Pay because the branding is almost identical.
Very true.
But mechanically, they do very different things.
This is a crucial distinction. The Shop app is the physical application you download from the iOS or Android store. It is the digital dining room. Shop Pay, however, is the accelerated checkout method. It is the financial engine that processes the transaction.
Let me try a different analogy here to make sure I really grasp the mechanics. Instead of a kitchen and a dining room, let's think about driving on a toll road.
Okay, I'm listening.
Shop Pay is like an easy pass transponder on your windshield. When you use Shop Pay, you don't have to stop your car at every new website's digital toll booth to manually type in your 16-digit credit card number.
Right.
The system recognizes your identity, the gate just lifts, and the payment is processed instantly. The Shop app in this scenario is just one of the many highways where that Easy Pass works, meaning I can use my Shop Pay Easy Pass on my laptop, buying from a completely independent website without ever downloading the Shop app to my phone.
That is a phenomenal analogy, and it perfectly explains the concept of network tokenization.
Tokenization.
Yeah, when you opt into Shop Pay, your financial data is securely encrypted, meaning tokenized, and tied to your phone number or email. When you visit any of the 6.9 million Shopify stores on the internet, the platform recognizes you.
Oh, okay.
They send a 6-digit code to your phone, you punch it in, and your shipping and billing info instantly populates. You do not need the mobile app to use the checkout engine.
And the performance data on that engine is just staggering. Shop Pay converts up to 50% faster than a standard guest checkout.
Because it completely eliminates that friction point we talked about at the very beginning. You don't have to get off the couch to find your wallet.
Sure.
One tap, and the transaction is done.
But the financial engineering goes a lot deeper than just tokenizing a credit card. There are two other massive features within this ecosystem that dictate how people spend their money. First is Shop Cash.
Right, so Shop Cash operates as a built-in rewards program. When a buyer makes an eligible purchase using Shop Pay, they earn a percentage back in Shop Cash.
Okay, sounds pretty standard.
But the brilliant mechanic here is the closed-loop economy. This isn't like cash back on a typical credit card where you can transfer the balance to your bank account or use it to buy a flight. Shop Cash can only be redeemed inside the Shop app,
Oh, wow.
specifically at other participating Shopify stores.
It's captive liquidity. They are essentially minting their own currency to ensure that the value stays trapped within their own ecosystem.
Exactly. It subsidizes the consumer's next purchase, which drives them back to the app, which generates another sale for a Shopify merchant.
The other major financial lever is Shop Pay Installments, which is their integrated buy now, pay later feature. It allows a customer to split an order into 2 to 4 biweekly interest-free payments.
Yeah, and we are talking about carts up to $999.99 here.
Right, or they can opt for monthly installments on even larger purchases.
And if we look at the behavioral economics of buy now, pay later, it is all about lowering the perceived barrier to entry. We do this thing called mental accounting.
Mental account.
Yeah, if I see a pair of leather boots for $200, I might hesitate. But if the checkout page tells me it's only $50 today and $50 in 2 weeks, my brain categorizes that as a much smaller, safer decision.
That makes total sense.
It frequently tips the scale from an abandoned cart to a successful conversion, especially for premium items.
Okay, so we have this incredibly frictionless payment engine in Shop Pay and this highly engaging discovery feed in the Shop app. But I have to play devil's advocate for a moment.
Go for it.
If the Shop app is completely free for merchants and Shopify is subsidizing all these rewards, aren't merchants basically surrendering their brand identity? Why would a business owner want their customers buying through a centralized app instead of their own beautifully designed standalone website? Where is the actual return on investment?
That is the exact question a savvy operator should be asking. And the answer really comes down to the brutal realities of operational overhead. In e-commerce, there is a dreaded acronym, WISMO. It stands for Where is my order?
Ah, the classic customer support ticket.
It is the bane of a merchant's existence. If you are selling a $30 t-shirt, the profit margin is already thin. If a human being on your support team has to spend 10 minutes replying to an email asking where that t-shirt is, you have just lost your entire margin on that sale.
Wow, yeah, I didn't think about it like that.
Because the Shop app evolved from a dedicated package tracker, it sends hyper-accurate, real-time push notifications to the buyer's phone.
So the buyer just checks their lock screen instead of clogging up the support inbox.
Exactly. The intelligence we gathered highlights a brilliant tactical move for merchants. You should actively embed a Track with Shop button directly into your order confirmation emails.
Oh, that's a great pro tip.
Don't just send them a raw USPS tracking number that forces them to go to a clunky government website. Route them to the app. It transitions your customer support from an expensive manual email thread into a completely frictionless self-service motion.
That is massive for operational efficiency. But the benefits clearly extend past just logistical tracking. There's a huge trust and retention play here, too, because inside the app, buyers can follow specific stores, right?
Yes, it operates much like a social media algorithm, but one optimized entirely for commerce. When a customer follows a brand, that brand's new product drops, and promotional campaigns get prioritized in the user's personalized feed.
Oh, yes.
It drives repeat purchase rates without the merchant having to pay Facebook or Google for a retargeting ad.
And speaking of trust, I really want to highlight something called Shop Protect. The data indicates that Shopify provides free buyer protection against fraud and non-delivery for eligible U.S. orders.
Which is huge.
Right, meaning if a package never shows up or the merchant turns out to be a scam, the buyer gets their money back, and it costs the merchant absolutely nothing.
Think about the psychological hurdle of buying from an independent brand you just discovered on Instagram. You've never heard of them. You don't know if their website is secure. You don't know if the product is real.
Yeah, it's a leap of faith.
Shop Protect removes that anxiety. The consumer feels safe clicking buy because a multi-billion-dollar platform is guaranteeing the transaction.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting to me, but also where my alarm bells start ringing a bit. Shopify is giving merchants free exposure to 675 million buyers. They are absorbing the cost of fraud protection. They are funding the Shop Cash rewards program. They're handling the tracking notifications to reduce support costs.
It's a lot.
They're not a charity. What is Shopify's underlying motivation here? Why build this incredibly expensive flywheel and just give it away?
It is a masterful platform play. You have to look at how Shopify actually generates revenue. They make money on monthly merchant subscriptions, but their real revenue engine is transaction fees.
I see.
They take a tiny percentage of every single sale processed through Shopify payments. Therefore, their ultimate goal is to increase the gross merchandise volume of the entire internet.
If their merchants sell more, Shopify makes more.
Precisely. If the Shop app reduces cart abandonment by 50%, because people don't have to get up to find their wallets, Shopify's revenue surges. If Shop Protect makes buyers 20% more likely to trust a new brand, Shopify captures that upside.
Wow.
They are aggressively subsidizing the consumer experience because it greases the rails of their own financial infrastructure. They are making their platform stickier and vastly more profitable in the long run.
So if it's this powerful, if it solves trust, reduces friction, and boosts conversion, my immediate thought is that every single business on Earth should be migrating their entire strategy to the Shop app.
Not quite.
Right, there has to be a breaking point. Where does this model completely fail? Let's dive into the reality check of who this is actually built for and who should stay far away.
The analysis breaks this down wonderfully using a tiered star rating system based on business models. Direct-to-consumer brands, DTC, and fashion and apparel get a full 5-star rating. They are the ideal candidates.
Which makes sense. Fashion thrives on visual discovery. People love endlessly scrolling through high-quality photos of jackets and sneakers, and when they find a brand they like, they buy from them every season.
Exactly. Moving down a tier, food and beverage companies, along with handmade artisans like Etsy migrants, sit at 4 stars.
Why the slight downgrade there?
Well, food and beverage is fantastic for subscription reorders, like getting your artisan coffee beans delivered every month. But those businesses are inherently limited by perishability and complex, temperature-controlled logistics.
Oh, sure.
You can't casually ship a frozen pie across the country with a standard tracking link. And handmade goods benefit immensely from the free brand exposure. But their production scales so slowly that a sudden viral spike on the Shop app feed can actually overwhelm their capacity to fulfill orders.
Okay, but let's dig into the 3-star tier because this is fascinating to me. Drop shippers. Drop shipping is massive on Shopify. Why does this model clash with the Shop app?
It really comes down to the physics of fulfillment and the psychology of the consumer. Dropshipping relies on a merchant selling a product they don't actually hold in inventory.
Right.
When an order comes in, they route it to a manufacturer, often overseas in places like China, who ships it directly to the buyer. This means shipping times can easily stretch to 3 or 4 weeks.
Right, and usually the dropshipper tries to obscure that fact from the customer, make it look local.
Exactly. But remember, the Shop app's foundational feature is hyper-accurate, real-time tracking. If a customer opens the app and sees that their quote-unquote local boutique purchase has been sitting in a shipping container in a Shenzhen port for 14 days, the illusion is instantly shattered.
Oh, totally.
It destroys brand trust. Furthermore, those extended shipping windows frequently violate the eligibility requirements for Shop Protect, stripping away that layer of buyer security.
It exposes the mechanical weakness of the dropshipping model directly to the consumer. Makes sense. And finally, at the very bottom, with a 1-star rating, we have B2B, wholesale and service-based businesses.
Yeah, this is a fundamental mismatch of audience and utility. Shop is a localized mobile consumer app. A procurement manager for a hospital isn't, scrolling through a mobile feed to order pallets of industrial syringes.
Yeah, probably not.
And if you are selling a service, like booking a massage or a consulting hour, there is no physical package to track. The entire tracking infrastructure is just useless to you.
Beyond just the business models, there are some hard technical limitations from the source that we really have to acknowledge. First, you still absolutely must have a standalone website.
You do. The Shop app is not a standalone marketplace where you can just upload a spreadsheet and start selling like Amazon or eBay. It requires an active paid Shopify store to act as the central nervous system.
Also, the analytics are severely limited. If you are a data nerd used to the granular detail of Google Analytics, tracking bounce rates, session duration, exact traffic sources, you won't get that from the Shop channel.
No, not at all.
You essentially just see views, followers, and sales. You also cannot pay to boost your products. The feed is entirely algorithm-driven based on what the user has previously bought or interacted with.
And we cannot ignore the geographic constraints. The entire ecosystem is tethered to Shopify payments. If your business is located in a country that Shopify payments does not currently support, or if you choose to use a third-party gateway because of high-risk products, you cannot offer Shop Pay.
And if you can't offer Shop Pay,
your products will not appear in the Shop app. It's that simple.
So what does this all mean? If I can summarize this reality check, let's look at orbital mechanics. I like to think of the Shop app as a massive booster rocket attached to a spacecraft.
I love a good analogy.
Right. If you are a brand, that booster rocket provides an incredible amount of free thrust. It helps you break through the gravity of customer acquisition costs and accelerates your checkout speed. But eventually, a booster rocket falls away. You cannot rely on it to maintain your orbit forever.
Yeah.
To build a sustainable long-term business, you still need your main engines firing. Your organic SEO, your email marketing lists, your paid advertising, and your own standalone domain. You don't own the audience on the Shop app, you are just renting them.
That captures the dynamic perfectly. It is an incredibly powerful supplementary channel, but relying on it as your sole business strategy is a critical mistake.
Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway from all this research. We've explored the heavy lifting in the kitchen, the curated experience in the dining room, and the easy pass mechanics of the checkout. The real paradigm shift here isn't asking, should I use Shopify or should I use the Shop app?
Right.
The question is, am I designing my business to extract maximum value from how these two systems talk to each other?
They are two halves of the same circuit. Shopify provides the infrastructure to run the store, and the shop ecosystem provides the mechanics to delight the consumer. When you synchronize them, you remove the friction that kills businesses.
So, connecting this back to you listening right now. If you are an entrepreneur who just started a free trial to sell candles or t-shirts, your first action item is simple. Go into your settings and verify that Shop Pay is active. Do not leave a 50% increase in checkout speed on the table.
Good advice.
If you are an established brand, take 10 minutes today to customize your Shop brand page. Upload a high-resolution logo, set a banner image, and make it look like a premium destination. And if you are just a consumer, well, the next time you see that purple Shop Pay button, you'll know exactly why you don't have to get off the couch to find your wallet.
But before we officially sign off, I really want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. If you zoom out and look at everything we have discussed today, the universal checkout tokens, the centralized package tracking, the closed-loop rewards currency, the personalized feeds, Shopify is doing something profoundly ambitious.
Oh, yeah.
They are taking millions of fragmented independent businesses and unifying them into a single, seamless consumer interface.
A unified storefront for the independent web.
Exactly. So the next time you are casually scrolling through the Shop app, discovering a new brand, and buying with a single tap, ask yourself, is Shopify quietly building a decentralized rebellion against Amazon right under our noses?
Wow. They are supplying the kitchen equipment to millions of chefs just so they can build the biggest dining room the world has ever seen. What a fascinating strategy. Well, that is all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next one.